Assalamu alaikum viewers. Today I am going to make a beautiful short frock style shirt for young girls, and I'm using this cotton fabric for this dress. And for neck designing I'll be using this lace and anchor threads of matching colors. So let's get started. In total we need 3 yards of this cotton fabric, and it is 2 yards in front of me right now because the length of our dress is 36 inches, that is equal to 1 yard, right? And I got 2 yards right now and I'm folding it, so it is 36 inches on fold, that is equal to the length of our dress. And now we'll fold these layers of the fabric from this side, and we'll fold it 1 inch more than our neck width plus half inch of seam allowance. So for example, our neck width is 3.5, we'll add 1 inch to it and half inch of seam allowance as well. So I folded the fabric at 5 inches and now I'm cutting it out. So this will be the center part of our dress, both back and the front. It is 4 layers in front of us right now because it is on fold. And from this piece of fabric we'll cut out the panels later and we'll put it aside by now. And at the top part of our dress we'll attach pieces of fabric separately, and at the bottom we'll attach the panels. So for the top part we need the length of fabric equal to our waist length, that is 14 inches, and including 1 inch seam allowance we'll cut out 15 inches long pieces of fabric. And for the width of the fabric to be attached here, we need 1/4 of our chest measurement, that is 8.5 inches in my case, and in adding 1.5 inch of loosing and seam allowance, the total fabric we need here is 10 inches. The central part of our dress is 5 inches wide, and the remaining width of fabric we need is 5 inches, and including 1 inch seam allowance we need 6 inch wide piece of fabric to be attached at the side, that should be 14 inches long. So this is 1 yard of fabric I put aside at first. I folded it. Now I fold it once again. I fold it now at 6 inches. So this piece should be 6 inches wide. I'll cut out it. From this piece I'll make the sleeves. So this piece is 6 inches wide on fold and it should be 14 inches long. So I'll cut out extra piece of fabric. Now we'll separate all these layers. So these are 4 fabric pieces, 6 inches wide and 14 inches long. We'll place them 1 inch above the center part. So we'll mark at 1 inches. So we'll overlap it here. And now we'll mark for the top part. We'll mark at 7.5 inches for the shoulder. It should be 7.5 from here as well. Make a straight line and mark at 7.5 inches for armhole at this point. So I marked it 7.5 inches. Extend this line. Now we'll mark for 1/4 of the chest, that is 8.5 inches. So I marked at 8.5, and at 1 inch we'll mark for the cutting. We'll mark a point at 1.5 inches from that corner to draw a shape for back armhole. So we'll pass this line from this point and join it to the cutting mark. And at this line we extend it inwards. We'll mark at 1 inches and we'll join this point to the top part of our armhole. And we'll draw the shape of the front armhole by passing a curve through this line. So it is the best way to draw a shape for the front armhole and join it to the cutting mark. Now for the waist we'll mark at 1/4 of the waist, and that is 7.5 inches in my measurements. So I'll mark at 7.5, and at 1 inch I'll mark for cutting. Join these points. And now we'll cut out the panels. So we'll take this piece of fabric, it is already folded. We'll fold it once again diagonally. So we'll join this corner to this opposite corner and fold the fabric like this. So we get 2 folded triangles. We'll separate them. So I separated the fabric, and now I'll place one above the other like this, and we'll join this stretch part to the center part of our dress. So this will be attached to the center part of our dress, and here we'll mark for the top width of our panel that will be attached to this part of our dress. So we'll cut out the extra fabric first from the side and the armhole. So now we know the width of our panel from the top, so we'll place it here and mark, and it is at 8 inches from the corner, so we'll mark at 8 inches, but we'll cut at half inch above this line, keeping a half inch seam allowance, right? And now for the length of the panel, we'll check out the length of this bottom part. It is 21 inches, and keeping 1 inch of seam allowance, we need 22 inches long panels. So we'll place the measuring tape on this fabric starting from this line at 22 inches and mark here, and from the corner it is at 30 inches, so we'll mark at 30 inches from the corner. And we'll cut out the fabric from these two lines. So this is our panel, the top part, the top side part, and the middle part of our dress. So all these fabrics are in 4 layers. And now we'll attach the panels to the top side part of our dress first. I forgot to cut the front armhole, so I'll take 2 pieces and cut out the front armhole. And now attach the panels to these top side pieces. So I join the side pieces together. The center part is folded. I'll open it first, so it is in 2 layers now. Now we'll join the side pieces to the center part of the dress. So I joined the side pieces to the center part for the front part of our dress. Now we'll do the same for the back part. Simply join the right sides together and stitch the side pieces to the center part all the way down, and do the same for the other side as well. So I stitch the sides to the center. Now we'll cut and stitch the neckline, and for that I took this pasting paper, and it is 5 inches on fold and 15 inches long. For the neck width, I'm marking at 3.5 inches, and for the length I'll first mark at 4 inches and 6 inches. And for the length of our neck design, I'll mark at 13 inches. From this 4 inches mark, we'll make a box like this and draw the round shape of the neckline. And now from the center, we'll mark at 1 inch and 3 inches. We'll do the same all the way down the neckline. Mark at 1 inches from the center and 3 inches. So this will be the total width of our neck design at 3 inches. So we'll join all these points. And the bottom, and now we'll join this 6 inches mark and make a rectangular box here. So this will be our neckline. So this is our neckline, and at this part we'll make design with lace and anchor thread. So this is the edge of our neck design. So keeping 1 inch margin outside the neck design, we'll draw a line for cutting. This is the outer margin, and we'll cut here. So we opened it, and now from the center we drew a line at 3 inches. We'll do the same on the other side. So we'll mark at 3 inches from the center and join these points. On this portion we'll make lines with a ruler, slanting lines, and on these lines we'll make stitch lines using anchor thread later on. So it will be very easy to make stitch lines with the anchor thread, and all these slanting lines will be 1 centimeter off or half an inch apart. So simply we'll keep on making these lines. And now we'll draw the slanting lines in the opposite direction as well, like this. Now again draw lines at a distance of half inch or 1 centimeter each. So this is our pattern for the anchor thread. Now we'll paste this pasting paper on the front part of our shirt. So this is the front part and I have marked the center. So match the center of the pasting paper to the center of our dress and paste it here on the wrong side. So I pasted it on the wrong side of the dress, and we'll be using this lace and matching colored anchor threads for this neck design, and we'll use these anchor threads one by one. So for example, we start from one color like skin color. We'll make a stitch line with skin color, then leave 2 lines and then repeat the stitch line using skin color, and after making all the stitch lines with one color we'll change the thread, right? So we'll need to change the thread only 3 times. We thread the bobbin with anchor thread, so we'll simply thread the bobbin and loosen the bobbin case by losing this screw here a little bit. So we'll thread the bobbin with anchor thread, and at the top of the machine we'll use normal thread. We use anchor thread only in the bobbin. And we thread the rest of the machine normally. So this is our pattern where we'll make stitch lines with the anchor thread. So we chose one color, that is skin color, first. So we'll make one stitch line with skin color, and skipping 2 lines we'll keep on making stitch lines with skin color. And we start stitch line 1 inch or half inch inside the neckline, because we won't reverse stitch on either side of the stitch line, so it will be the margin for the thread. So I made one stitch line, I'll skip 2 lines for other 2 colors and then make another stitch line with this color. So repeat it in the same way. So I've made all the stitch lines with skin color in this direction. Now I'll do the same in the opposite direction. Like this. And now I'll make the stitch lines with skin color in the opposite direction, but in the same manner. Make one stitch line, skip 2 lines, and then make another stitch line with this color. So I've made all the stitch lines with skin color. This is how it looks from the right side. We'll trim extra thread and then we'll change the color in our machine. So for example, we use pink color now, and we make all the stitch with pink color in the same manner. And now we'll skip 1 line for the blue color and make stitch lines with pink color. Now we'll use pink color in the opposite direction as we did for the skin color. So we have made stitch lines with pink color on both directions, and this is how it looks from the right side. We'll trim extra thread first. And now we'll make stitch lines with the third color, and that is blue. So only one line is left, as you can see. So we'll make stitch lines in both directions with blue color now. So I've made stitch lines with all the three colors one by one, and now we'll take a piece of fabric of the same width and uh, length to finish the neckline. So we'll cut out a fabric. This is 11 inches wide and 15 inches long. We'll place it on the right side of our dress here and stitch here on the neckline, very close to the pasting paper but not on the pasting paper. So I made the stitch line in the same shape as the neckline. Now I will trim extra fabric, leaving some margin. Make a few notches here, especially on the curves, and then fold this fabric to the wrong side. And we'll press it very nicely, and neckline is done. So our pasting paper is also covered from the wrong side. And now we'll attach lace on the right side of our dress. So this is the lace we'll be using. We'll place our lace here on the edge of our design and sew it on the outer edge. Trim extra lace, and we'll also attach lace 1 inch from the center, starting from here, and it should be at the same distance from the side and the bottom and up to the neckline here. So this is the amount of lace we'll be using. We'll simply attach lace on these positions. So after attaching the lace, we'll prepare piping for the neckline, and for that I took a bias strip of fabric that is 2.5 inches wide. I'll fold it and stitch on one side. and then we'll turn the right side out with the help of a needle. Simply tie a knot on one end, insert the back of the needle in the folded strip, bring out the needle from the other side and turn the right side out. We'll press it now. So after pressing it, we have this finished strip. We'll simply place the neckline in between this strip and fold it and top stitch. So simply we'll place the neckline in between the folded edges of the strip, finished strip, and we'll simply stitch it. There is a gap in the center of our neckline. We'll stitch it in the same way, keeping that gap. So we have finished the neckline. It's looking like this, very nice. And now we'll attach lace on these joints from the shoulder down to the waist like this, and we'll do the same on the other side here. So I've attached the lace. It's looking very nice. Must try it, you would like it for sure. And we'll also attach lace on the bottom of the sleeves and bottom of the dress. And this is the back part of the dress. I didn't cut the back neckline in the beginning, so now I'll fold the back part like this and mark at 3.5 inches, that is the neck width. And for the neck depth, back neck depth, I'm marking at 2 inches. Make a round shape here like this. And finish the neckline by cutting another strip of fabric of the same shape. So I cut out this strip, place it on the right side of the back part, stitch here and turn it to the wrong side. So I finished the back neckline and attached the shoulders of front and back part, and now we'll attach the sleeves and then stitch the sides. Or you can stitch the sides first and then attach the sleeves later on, but I'm stitching the sleeves first, attaching the sleeves first. So this is our sleeves. I attached lace on the bottom and I cut out the sleeves in the normal way as we normally do for our dresses. We'll give a mark at the center of the sleeves, attach it to the shoulder and stitch the armhole. Pin the sleeve to the armhole first and then simply stitch here. Do the same for the other sleeve. And after attaching the sleeves, we'll simply match the right sides of front and back part. And stitch the side seam starting from the bottom of the sleeves and down to the bottom of our dress, and hem the bottom of the back part as well, and then stitch the side. We'll do the same on the other side here. So I've stitched the side seam and our dress is ready. It's looking very nice. Must try it. And if you like the video, give a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe my channel. And Allah Hafiz till the next video.